Hi, church. I've talked to several people this week who have expressed just really feeling down and emotional about approaching the holidays without the pandemic being over, and looking at Thanksgiving with restricted capacity at the dinner table, looking at Christmas as probably not being much different. I'm looking at numbers here in Los Angeles going up, and just feeling like I thought there was going to be more of an end, light at the end of the tunnel before the end of the year. So many people have sort of written off 2020 and looking forward with hope to 2021, and that hope doesn't necessarily seem to be being realized right now. And I want to remind you of a verse from Psalm 56 that tells us that God recognizes our pain and that he sees our tears, and that he is not, the word I want just went out of my head. He's not cold toward them. He's not apathetic toward them. In Psalm 56, verse 8, he says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." And when David wrote those words, he had been captured by the Philistines. And it was a very difficult time in his life, a time that apparently involved a lot of weeping, a lot of feeling like the circumstances of his life were out of control and negative. And I think that's the way many people feel. And so I want to remind us all that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to grieve over things that you miss. God is aware of our pain, and he keeps our tears in some way that we don't understand. But I would also encourage you to remember that our hope is not ultimately found in whether or not we can have everybody we want at our house at Thanksgiving, or whether Christmas is going to look like it has in Christmases past. Our hope is not found in the turning of the calendar from 2020 to 2021. Our hope is found in a God who is with us, a God who loves us, a God who has compassion on us, who realizes our emotions, and who is moved by our tears. But I would also encourage you, aside from remembering where our hope is found, I would encourage you to reach out to somebody else. Maybe that's somebody in your life group. Maybe it's somebody in a Bible study that you've been in. Maybe it's just one of the church staff. But let somebody know how you're feeling so that we can pray for one another and encourage one another. But also maybe look around for somebody that you might be able to pray for, that you might be able to encourage. Look around for that person who maybe has been in your life group, but you haven't heard from them in a little bit, and check on how they're doing. Do that in our neighborhoods. I think as we reach out to others, as we emulate our Heavenly Father in our compassion for those who are suffering and who are sad, that our perspective itself changes. Know that we are praying for you, that we are praying that you would know God's presence, that you would know his peace, that you would know that he is a God who cares for you. And then in light of that, let's care for one another.